We have now joining us on the phone is Congresswoman Frederica Wilson. Congresswoman, thank you so much for your time. And you and I had a chance to speak earlier today, and you were telling me that you're not in the Capitol building right now, but you were there yesterday, and you actually warned Capitol Police that something like this could possibly happen, correct?
Oh, not yesterday, Calvin. Before Christmas, I warned the administration, and it seems as if no one was taking it seriously, so I put in a call to the Capitol Police, and I asked for a conference call with them and my staff. So they put Janetta Mitchell, who's a captain in the investigations division, on the phone. And I explained to her what my fears were. And I told her, I said, I don't think that the Capitol Police actually knows Donald Trump. I do, because I had to fight him and confront his supporters. I said, how many people do you have lined up when we vote on the 6th? And she said, oh, Congresswoman, we're fine. And so I went into this whole diatribe of why I thought they needed to get the Virginia police here, the National Guard, the Maryland police, because I could foresee what was happening, because Donald Trump is wallowing in self-pity and denial over this 2020 election. And his results are stoking members of his base, whom he encouraged to come to Washington to protest. And he's responsible for this. He incited today's violence and literally has blood on his hands. Someone was shot. I actually saw them on the gurney. And the American people must hold him accountable. I worry about the next 14 days when Donald Trump is still the president of the United States. And we have to find a way to muzzle him, because he is not going to stop.
Congresswoman, also, you had a dust-up with the president a couple of years ago, and that was part of your fear that something like this could happen in terms of the threats that you were getting as well, correct?
Exactly. See, I know how he can stir people up, and how he stirred his base up to come after me, simply because I was helping a family of a soldier who was killed in the war. And that was it. That was my crime. And they actually came into my office and changed my alarm system and set off an alarm so that people could go outside. And when we came back in, they were in my office. These were Russians who actually took a place in my office. So everywhere I went, I had to have security. If I went to the nail salon, they had to go with me. The Capitol Police relocated to Miami. It was horrible. Donald Trump is the Antichrist. Just let me put it out there. There's a special place in hell for him, because he does not care about anything except himself. And all of his, oh my goodness, all of his followers and supporters, I mean, you can look at them and tell that these are not even people of means. And someone once told me that if one of these people touched Donald Trump's car, he would shoot them.
Congresswoman,
that's the type of gentleman he is.
Congresswoman, it's Nicole here. About what's happening today, what we're watching now on TV unfold here. Have you spoken to any members of Congress today? If so, what have they told you?
Well, I have spoken to many, and everyone is afraid. I've spoken to those who were caught on the House. See, the people on the floor were people who were going to speak in support of their particular state. So because of the pandemic, the entire body could not be on the floor. So there were supposed to be 14 members against and 14 members for. And then a few people could sit in the gallery to watch. So those were the people who were trapped in the Capitol. So they were telling me how they had to hunker down on the floor and cover their heads, and some had to go under their desk, and how they were breaking the windows to the actual chamber, and how the sergeant at arms was barricading the door. And it has put us in a stupor right now, and we're not sure about what to do to move forward with the Electoral College voter certification process, because according to the Constitution, it has to be completed today by the House and the Senate as the final step necessary to confirm Joe Biden as the next president of the United States. So in my mind, in their minds, we're discussing when can Congress meet again and how will our safety be ensured, and members are rightfully scared.
And speaking of that process, Congresswoman, so you don't have any idea of where it goes from here, when you guys will meet again, when you will certify this election?
We have no idea right now, and I'm sure it's being discussed. But, you know, we just have, there are certain guidelines and protocols that's spelled out in the Constitution, and there are certain things we must do on certain days to make all of this legal. And Nancy Pelosi might wind up being president for a while. We'll see. We're researching that right now because there's going to be a break in service.
And Congresswoman, just the bigger picture here, what about democracy? Has it been damaged in the other countries that are watching these images that are being broadcast all around the world? What do you think they will think of America going forward?
I've gotten calls and text messages from Africa and from Haiti and all of the other countries that we visit. I have been summoned to many countries to observe their elections and help them learn how to conduct fair elections and safe elections. So how can we go abroad and try to monitor elections and help people in other countries when we're looking like a mockery? And well, this is, I guess, people have learned Donald Trump in these 4 years, and they know that he's just a clown act and not taking anything seriously about our democracy. It took him forever to call these protesters, I want to call them terrorists, from the Capitol. He finally came out and asked them to leave, but not in any way that he really meant it. So it's a gentleman, a man who we're dealing with. And I often look at him and I wonder, what manner of a man is this? And he is the president of the greatest nation in the world. And our democracy, he has brought it to its knees in these 4 years. And I am worried about the 14 days we have until he leaves office. And something has to be done. There's even conversation about impeaching him again in the waning days of the inauguration, because we don't know what he might do.
Yeah, the clock is
Remember,
ticking.
he is the commander-in-chief.
That's right. The clock is ticking. Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, as you said, democracy on its knees right now. Thank you so much.